Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of the Nickscast. Why is it special? Because I got to do the intro.
That's right, for the first time ever, a non-Nick has done the intro to Nickscast, I guess, episode. We are here to do a Friday night coverage of the London Comiccon, the first of two Comiccons occurring in London, Ontario, within the same month.
Yes, we also have Forest City Comic-Con weekend after Thanksgiving next month in October. But we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about it next month with the Goat and T, who are coming to visit us in London, Ontario. But tonight we're talking about day one of the just standard London Comic-Con, that we went to.
Yep, took place in our own backyard, so just a quick drive over and...
Sadly, not literally in our backyards.
No, but almost there.
Yes.
So we took a drive over and checked it out. And
we're going to go all weekend. We've got the weekend passes. Be jealous.
Best part of the con is having to wear a bracelet for 48 hours.
Because I don't wear enough stuff on my hands already.
Yeah, but we were just there for the Western Fair.
About a week ago. Which is sort of Western Ontario's version of the CNE, which is Ontario's version of the World's Fair.
Yes.
Which was the world's version of...
the CNE.
The CNE.
So when we were in the Progress building last, it was set up mainly like an art show, like the entire perimeter was photography, and then there were kind of
arts and crafts and little exhibits, and mostly just sort of arts and crafts.
Yeah, so it was neat to see how the space had changed and how little it had changed, because it the way the con was basically set out was like a craft show.
Yeah.
In that, you had your crisscrossing your avenues and boulevards of different little booths. And it all just took place in that building. It's not a very big con.
No. I'm curious, like we said, this is the first year we've ever been to this, because this is the first year we've really been able to. We just moved to London last fall. We would have missed it. And so I'm curious to see if this is bigger, if this is about the same size, or if this is kind of like in progress, like you talked about a few weeks ago with Unplugged, where I guess it is growing.
Yeah.
And I can only assume this is too, because London is kind of your biggest city west of Toronto until you get to
Unplugged was in its fourth year, and it's kind of this Unplugged was just like a little bit bigger than this one was.
I'm trying to see. I'm quickly looking up the con brochure right now to see if there's anything that says what year this is. I don't think there is, but I know it was at least last year, because I've known people who've gone to it. So, but
I'm assuming based on that it's in London rather than Toronto, and about the size of it, that it's been going for probably a similar amount of time.
Probably. I'd never been to a con before. This was my first con, so I guess this is my baseline now. So either I have everywhere to go up but up, or I will be disappointed. Yeah,
this is, I guess, not a low bar, but it's a fairly small con.
Mm-hmm.
It's though this is just Friday, and when we see it tomorrow, we'll probably have quite a few more fans there, a few more vendors there probably, and a few more artists.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of what we did today, was check out the vendors and just sort of get an idea of what most of the stuff was or is going to be there, and sort of see the space and everything like that. We didn't spend a lot of time, because there's not a lot of programming on Friday. A lot of the Friday programming seemed to be horror based, which we're not huge horror buffs. So,
there's only two areas devoted to programming, I think. There's the main stage, which is right in the center of everything, that you could see it even just walking by when you're browsing the stalls or whatever. And then there's a screening room, which is off to one side.
Mm-hmm. And we spent some time in the screening room today, and we can talk about that later. But how does this compare to you versus other cons? I mean, I guess you already said that with Unplugged.
Yeah, this is probably one of the smallest cons that I've been to.
Okay.
But it was like I said, it still has that kind of fair feel, because in amongst the booths there's a guy selling like pepperettes, and there's a guy selling lemonade, and a guy selling ice cream, and like records.
Yeah, the records one threw me a little bit.
I mean, there's probably enough crossover that it'll make some money putting records out there, so.
Sadly, no Fast Romantics.
Never.
If anyone can ever send me a Fast Romantics album or vinyl, or Fast Romantics, if you're watching this and you want to come to London, Ontario, please do, and I will buy literally all your merchandise. Because I cannot find your stuff in stores, and I guess I'm going to have to use the internet.
As far as record stores are concerned, they...
Because it is the future, and I guess I'll use the internet.
Don't exist, yeah. But yeah, it was like kind of like, like most of the booths were the kind of thing that you'd get at a con, selling like lots of plushies, lots of t-shirts and hats, and like some games, lots of comic books and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But there are also the people selling food and records and just like general sort of stuff that they can probably make a buck doing. Mm-hmm. And so it's more just like another fair, but like nerd themed.
And sometimes kind of loosely, depending on what booth you went to. There was a couple of booths, one that I really liked, and then like a couple other ones that were just like like toys, like collectible type toys. The one that I ran across, this was if anyone's listened to the 4-part collecting Nickscast, I was the guest on, I guess, episode 4 of that, and I talked about how I've been collecting Barbies for a number of years. And one of the booths, we happened to come around the corner, and I was like, oh, gotta go look at those Barbies, because she was selling a bunch of them. And I'm probably going to be we're probably going to do a haul video, like part of our video will probably be a haul either tomorrow or Sunday. And I'll probably have 1 or 2 of those. But I wasn't expecting to see that.
And it's not something that you'd necessarily expect to see at a con of any particular size. That is... right place, right time. Someone just happens to live in the area and have that kind of crazy collection.
Yeah, she's from London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had her information up like on her booth.
I just produced her business card out of my back pocket. Her name the business is Sandy's Treasures.
It will be backwards.
It's backwards.
So hold a mirror
up to YouTube, or mirror YouTube, and then repost this, and you'll see every text that we put on the screen the right way. Then the copyright won't take it down.
Look for hidden messages.
And you'll get a great recipe for a really ripping lentil soup.
But yeah, she had like a ridiculous collection.
Oh, she's got great stuff. I'm going to spend money. The ceiling for that is going to be how much money I spend, and not necessarily what she has, because she's got lots of stuff, and she's like, oh, I've got bins underneath, and she's talking about, she asked me if I was a collector, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally have been collecting for like 20 years or whatever, because I have been. And she's like, oh, I have $4,000. And I was like, never mind.
She's not going to run out of stuff that you want to get.
Oh God, no.
So you have to
oh my God, no.
pick and choose.
Yeah. I guess that kind of goes back into the collecting episode. Is, am I a curator? Am I a accumulator? Or whatever the other term was.
And yeah, there's also like a monster maze or something like that at the back.
There was like a spooky maze. The whole back corner was the horror kind of like area, and so there was like a tattoo artist who, I don't know if he was actually tattooing or if he was just promoting his business, and there was posters, and I think that's likely where some of the there was horror merchandise and etc. And it looked like there was kind of I don't know, we didn't go in because we're not horror people. We were like, ooh, that's probably 3 spooky for us.
It was like neat that it was there, but not necessarily our cup of tea.
We were talking about this earlier though. We might go in later, because how spooky can it be when there's like 50 people in there with you?
Yeah, you're not that big extraordinarily not alone in that situation.
It might be fun.
But yeah, there's like stuff like that you don't see at like the bigger cons. You just see kind of dudes selling stuff, and so like stuff like that was kind of fun to see. It was very, very informal.
Oh, it's very informal.
Super informal, yeah.
There's also, I'm going to use this opportunity to plug a friend of mine. Her husband and a couple of friends of his are or have produced a board game. It's called Stratos. Some of you may have heard of it, and we will post the link down at the bottom. And they were there, and I didn't realize they were there, and I had to go say hi. Board game's not 100% my thing, but anything I've heard about this game is that it's really interesting, and it's I don't want to explain it because I won't do it justice, but we will post the link down below, and then you'll be able to click on it and see if you're interested. And I know they were there, and they've been doing a lot of the Ontario cons this year to try to get buzz. Yeah. One of the guys there is also one of the proprietors or to-be proprietors of the Guelph board game restaurant? Cafe? Board game cafe that's going to be coming into Guelph, Ontario. So that's really interesting too. And I can also post their Kickstarter, which I need to donate to. If anybody
is interested in checking that or donating to it, we will post it down below.
Mm-hmm. So it's just going to be like links aplenty down below.
Yeah. So the one kind of event that we did attend was the sci-fi and fantasy short film
showcase.
Yeah.
It's about an hour long.
Mm-hmm. And
great.
And it ranged from fantasy to sci-fi and back again.
And from good to amazing. None of them were terrible.
Different levels of production quality, of acting, of range, of cast, of
special effects,
languages mixing. Spoken in places it was produced, and length and everything. It was all over the map. So I'm not exactly sure what determined what got into this list or showcase, because I didn't get the impression that these were submitted to the con specifically. Because they were from all over. Beginning,
so there might have been a little blurb at the beginning saying oh,
an
hey,
explanation.
This is where it came from. But yeah, it was all over the place.
Yeah. So the one thing I thought is that they might be local films, but I don't think that was the case.
No.
At least half of them were not in English.
Well, one of them doesn't really count. There was one that was sort of we translated this from the language of the universe, and so it was in some bizarre language. So that doesn't really count. One for sure had subtitles. Two for sure?
A few.
Yeah.
Some.
Two of the films were standout films for us. They were all about, all the films were about between probably 5 and 15 minutes long. Two were standouts. The one was called Yo Soy Pedro. Yeah. And the other one was called
The Looking
Planet. Yes. And they were brilliant. And if we can find them on YouTube, we'll post links to those.
Yeah,
and
if they're legally available for free, on YouTube or something, we'll definitely post the link. But
if we can't, I recommend you beg, borrow, or steal a way to watch these films, because
they're really worth watching, and really, I was not expecting there to be things from other countries or in different languages.
Yeah,
and it was really neat to see.
So Yo Soy Pedro, sort of an alien movie, definitely pulling from movies like Men in Black. The intro sounded and looked very kind of Men in Black themed, and
had the same tone.
It had the same tone, and it was funny. It was a comedy. Mistaken identity. There were aliens, and there were police officers, and they were bumbling, and it was quite a romp. That was really fun. And then The Looking Planet, entirely CG animated.
Yeah, beautifully animated. It looked absolutely great. It was based on the budget of the ones that had come before it. I was very surprised to see something like that in there. I didn't realize that the kind of stuff we were going to get. Like no film gave you any hint as to what any of the other films might be like. It was a complete grab bag.
No. But The Looking Planet kind of, if you want to imagine sort of using the idea from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is it the Trafalgarians? I'm so sorry.
I think I'm thinking of Kurt Vonnegut, the Trafalgarians.
The
Magrathea.
Yes,
there we go.
Where they make planets.
Yeah.
If you kind of imagine that as a springboard, and they definitely did get that sort of 42 reference in there as well. And I think that's probably where some of that came from. That's kind of an idea where this movie's plot goes. this sort of extra dimensional beings making worlds.
Yeah.
That's probably the most general way I can describe this. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful and it was touching, and I want to watch it again.
Yeah, it was great. It was perfect length. And it was, you could tell that the creator came up with it but by doing something just like looking at the moon and like trying to look at it from a creative perspective, but it still told a nice story and worked really well. And I mean, some of the other films were good. Nothing was poorly done, I would say. No, just like differently and of varying budgets. Everything, but those were the two standouts for that. And so that was the main thing that we did tonight, because like we said, a lot of the programming was programming we weren't super interested in, and we did this after work, and it was just like, let's go check it out. Friday night is going to be a little more chill and sort of see what's going on. So I think the only other thing that we sort of saw, because we were just in the area, is that there was a little bit of the cosplay competition tonight as well. It looked like a little bit anime Lolita type stuff. We were just kind of like browsing around all the stalls, so we didn't get exactly what it was. We could just kind of see people up on stage. It looked impressive. Yeah, like, good on all of those, mostly women and one guy. Yeah. But I'm excited to see more of the cosplay tomorrow. I'll assume that will be the biggest day for cosplay. Will be tomorrow. Everybody will be out, and there'll be lots more people there, and maybe the competition proper is tomorrow. Is that right? The main competition, I think tomorrow is sort of the general cosplay competition, and then I believe the junior one is Sunday. Okay. Did you see any cosplay you liked? I know I did, so I want to give you an opportunity to. My absolute favorite cosplay moment is on the way in when you told me that if you had been wearing a red wig, you look like Wendy from Gravity Falls. And then as we were sitting watching the movies, someone dressed as Wendy from Gravity Falls sat directly in front of us. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I didn't think about what I was wearing, and then I was like, oh hey, I've got this like green flannel shirt, and I was wearing my like boots and like my skinny jeans. Like it's like standard girl fall wear. But it was just the colors and everything, and then I thought like, oh, that would have been a cosplay costume, and then her, and then a guy dressed as Dipper sat directly in front of us in the movies, and so I was lazy cosplay today. I guess my most memorable cosplay moment from tonight. How about you? There's a guy walking around dressed as Cusco from Emperor's New Groove, and it's amazing, and I love him, and I love you, Guy. If you're watching this, you were great. And there was other great stuff too, but he was my favorite. There was also, we saw a great Link. How else did I see that was really good? Great Wolverine. Oh, there's a Wolverine walking around, just like standard like wife beater Wolverine. Wife beater and like black jeans, but he like, looked like Wolverine. He looked like he had the hair and the like. He visually looked like Hugh Jackman, I suppose, not Wolverine per se. His claws looked good. I feel like I saw somebody else that I liked. Knight Rider? No. Where was Knight Rider? Like Kit the car? It was like you could see it like as you went through the entrance. I missed that. It was like, take a picture with Kit. No. I mean, I never watched Knight Rider, but it was neat. I missed that. Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to think of. Oh, there was an Assassin's Creed cosplay that was in the booth when we were looking at all the Pokemon plushies. More on that tomorrow. We will definitely have a Pokemon plushie joining us tomorrow as a special guest friend. But he looked great. I don't know if he made his own costume or if it was one that was purchased, but it was really, really good. There were also a couple booths that had just costume stuff as well. Yeah, that one in the center was like emergency costumes, and I'm like, guess I could get a red wig and a deer stalk. Which is like, you sometimes see those at cons, but I guess because it's close to Halloween, they're stepping it up. Yeah, I'm surprised like Spirit Halloween didn't have a presence there. Seriously, they would have made a good chunk. In case anyone felt like, oh, I need an emergency costume. I'm trying to think. I feel like I definitely saw another costume. I can't remember. Maybe they'll wear it tomorrow, and I will remember it tomorrow. There'll be lots of them tomorrow.
Yes. What are you excited for tomorrow?
I mean, seeing as it's like you can't be there without kind of hearing and seeing the main stage. It's like to see Ron Perlman get up there and talk because he's like a famous person lots of people know.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he'll talk about, Adventure Time.
Or his time on Beauty and the Beast.
Or his time on Beauty and the Beast, yep.
That's what I want to see. I know some people I work with are really excited to see him because of Sons of Anarchy, but it's not really a show we are into.
No.
So I'd be more interested in hearing him talk about like Hellboy. And I mean, it'd be great if he talked about Adventure Time. However, not a lot of Adventure Time stuff seems to be around at this con, so I kind of wouldn't be surprised it's not. I don't know if there's not a demand.
It's got to be one person. It's gonna be like, well,
tell me about the Lich.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that one person you?
Maybe we'll see. Nintendo Quest.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see with the creators and I assume stars of Nintendo Quest. Yeah, like first heard about it from the cinema that's airing it tonight. I think the Highland Cinema.
The Highland Cinema in London is airing it tonight.
And it's
plug for the Highland Cinema.
One dude's quest to drive across the country and find every NES game without resorting to the internet. So yeah, curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm just like quickly looking at the schedule here. I'm excited for. What am I excited for? I mean, some of the cosplay stuff I'm excited for because and maybe if I say this and people know, I'm hoping to get a cosplay going for Forest City now that I've kind of seen other people cosplay and sort of the variety and whether my costume's going to be unique or not, and I just got kind of procrastinating about it. So I'm going to try to have it for Forest City next month. So I'm interested in some of the cosplay workshops. There's another short film showcase tomorrow, and I'll probably go see that as well.
Like superhero themed.
It's superhero themed, yeah. So I'm interested to see that. There could be some really different films there, and I'm sure it's probably going to have about the same variety as the one today.
Oh yeah, I assume so.
Kind of all over the place. There's a panel on getting started in voiceover.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
And there's a live special effects demo at 11 o'clock. So we're planning on being there first thing, and I'd like to see that. We're ambitiously going to try to go to the farmer's market as well, because it's on the same site. So I think we have a full day tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, and then probably just checking out more booths, spending some money. I'd like to get some art, but it seemed to be one thing that at least tonight was lacking a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. All the artists will probably be there tomorrow, so
I appreciate that a lot of them might only come out for the one day because
it's probably only viable.
When you do look at the schedule, it really does look a little bit like bell shaped.
Yeah.
There's a lot on Saturday and like less on Friday and Sunday. Yeah. But it should be fun. Yeah,
we will report back tomorrow with everything that we've done
and bought
24 hours from now. And bought, yeah. So until then, stay chill.
Stay chill. And if you guys want us to look at anything or report back on anything or take pictures with anything or like literally just do anything, just like leave a comment or send us an email. You can follow Nick and the Nickscast on
at the Nickscast.
Everything, basically everything.
At the Nickscast.
I'm gonna try to post on my Instagram. My Instagram is at Lumpy Space Pharmacist. I am the Lumpy Space Pharmacist, and I didn't post any pictures tonight, but I'm gonna try to remedy that tomorrow. So if you guys want to see pictures of the con, pictures of things that we've seen, try to get some cosplay pictures too. Follow my Instagram. There's a lot of food on there. There's a lot of food and just like random stuff I've done. It's not a particularly well curated one, but it's fun. It's super fun. And I love a follower. Follow you back. Follow me.
All right.
So have a good night, everybody. Night.